right. Action.
Hello, my name is Agbache Onome from Nebo TV, and guess what I'm holding? This is a book, as a history book, a documented history book. Okay, right now I'm at Immanuel College at the small hall. We're having the book launch, and this is the book, Ancient Heroines and Modern Women in Benin Kingdom. This book is an encyclopedia. It entails all the great women in Edo State, Benin City, ancient, modern, and contemporary. It is written by Alex O. Wobadia. We're here at the book launch. I want you to go with me. It's promising to be awesome. Stay with me.
It is my joy to welcome you all and thanksgiving to God Almighty for this day to come and be celebrated with me by all you good people of God. May the name of the Supreme Omnipotent be praised, because this particular day looked like it was not going to come. The journey that is created in this celebration started some 6 years ago, and this project took me into many houses and homes which I may never have entered, and I had a rare privilege of meeting some persons whose path I may never have crossed in life. To this end, I wish to especially show great appreciation to my father, my mentor, Chief Osaya Boero, the Adoba Yoga of Benin Kingdom, for giving me his scripts of ancient Benin women, and to tell all the ancient, modern, and contemporary women, Benin women, who are in this book profile, a special way to. I must pay due respect in this book profile. In a special way, I must pay due respect and acknowledgement to all other Benin women. I had the privilege to come across when the project had already come, marked by time and space. Here, and now promise to commence gathering materials for the second edition of this book as soon as possible, because there are many worthy and well-qualified Benin women that would have been in this book but could not be accommodated due to the factor of printing and publications. The presence of these young women guests at this ceremony today was a deliberate attempt to introduce our young guests to the virtues and hard work required of the Benin woman, and for them to emulate the industry, sense of responsibility, and focus of the ancient and modern women that are being recognized and appreciated today. In the end, they too will legitimately aspire to be accorded due recognition that their future life will end for them. Excellency, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, the Executive Governor of the state, who graciously approved this hall through the Honorable Commissioner for Education to be used to host this event. I may not be able to individually appreciate all those that showed me compassion, especially empathy during the process of publishing and eventually saw to the success of this book. Nevertheless, I cannot avoid mentioning some names and create the indulgence of all the even hungry invitees you to join me to thank in no small measure Dr. Mrs. Vero Igbe, wife of the ASL of Benin, Chief Sam Igbe, who is a valuable asset in this occasion, without whose enormous support this book may not have been the light of the day. Finally, I am eternally grateful to our Royal Majesty, Omonoba Nebo Ukwu Oba Ewa II, our ancestors, and who leave a solid culture and tradition for us to follow. Thank you all.
If you have anything to do with the Benin and you do not have this book, it will be an abnormal. Because this book deliberately, consciously, thoroughly presents all the women, 42 women, and by no means exclusive. We still have very more, but they are presented in a very readable and morally infectious manner. I have read this book more than 3 times for over a week. When you take it to people, when you want to read it, there is something magnetic, there is something electrifying in this book. It makes you want to know what is next. It provides you, in all the staccato adverts of stories you know about Benin women, this book fills the gap. There are so many gaps in the eternal stories that you do not know about some of these women. This book fills the gap. It started from the ancient heroes, women who made sure. If you look at the women that we have here, they are women of notable character, but very many of them were not born great. Many of them achieved greatness. It is therefore a testimony. It is therefore like a mirror to all women who are present here, that through deliberate effort, like these women of God, you will be able to achieve yours. But this author takes it beyond that. Apart from looking at history, apart from leading us in the pages of history, oh, those women who were great did it in those days. This author therefore deliberately balances this equation. He gives us an avalanche of modern women, contemporary women who have made their mark, women who have grown to the stage that in some quarters we will call them men. If you have a mother, this book is for you. If you have a sister, this book is for you. The language, as I have said, is readable. It is simple but self-explanatory. It is not the kind of book you pick and you keep a dictionary by your side. It is not the kind of book you pick, you want to call the author to find out what do you mean by this. It is self-explanatory. In fact, when you go through the history of this book, it is, you want to find out about the women that have left their footprint in the sand of time. It gives you an impression that for a woman to achieve uniqueness, greatness, and something that is unique to the society, you can do it because there are contemporary women who have also done that. Like my ebullient chairman said, this is not an occasion to pitch the men against the women. This is an occasion to let you know that the women have been contributing. They've always stood to conquer. Most of these women, in all humility, they have conquered. I read the history of the motor and I looked at myself. A woman who the society, by all societal intrigues, would have called a useless woman. But by sheer doggedness, she made it. And then we look at some of the contemporary women, find out all the women that you have here, they just years, you would discover that it took deliberate doggedness, deliberate effort to succeed, deliberate effort to win where others did not win. And today, we talked about great women. Iyemonia, was she called that name 30 years ago? Was that her name 30 years ago? 40 years ago, it wasn't her name. But this woman, she through sheer hard work. So what you have in this book, it is not a book that we should overlook. It is a book that has come like a signpost. It is a moral signpost to all the women. It is a book that has come to say, stop, look, especially in this generation, where people want to achieve greatness through underhanded means. This is a book that stands out. This is a book that must be in every compound. This is a book that must be in every house. It's a book that cuts across the palace of kings, princes, up to the populace. I therefore wish to present before you a book among books. I want to present before you a book that will be a living testimony for a very long time. I
takes two to love. It even takes two to tango. It takes two to hate. So this celebration really is not to pit men against women, but to recognize that there is an important half that we have tended to ignore, whose contribution is too important to be forgotten, immeasurable. So I congratulate Alex Uwenaze Gobadia for taking his time to draw our attention to our mothers and our sisters. He adopted a historical approach Niti ara rẹ̀ ọ̀yá kìí òkò lókà ọ̀ lọ yóò. Rather than wait nẹ̀rọ kúlò yóò bí ọgbọ́. India rallied the youth of Uselu and confronted the Ida troops at Okedo, which is just by Obaslo. They were already here. It was from there that Uselu youth, under the leadership of India, pushed the Ida warriors all the way back to Ida, what's the saying now? Kogi State of present day. What about it then? People talk about the sacrifice that Jesus Christ made. In the case of Jesus Christ, he was patient. He was wrongly accused. They wanted him to deny his mission, but he was fidel to the end. He patiently faced death. It's not quite the same thing as he did. He then offered herself at a time when the country was at its lowest ebb. Want to know the details? Please read this book. What about Nebuchadnezzar and the role she played that made it possible for Ogunlobiohen to become a bad wife? The three names that I've mentioned now are those that are more popular. But what the author has done is to dig up more names of our mothers, our women folks, who made immeasurable contributions to the civilization that we today enjoy. But when Daddy here says it is better to talk about equality. We are dealing with a division of labor. One little boy that calls himself Akubege, he was talking about that special water that the father gives the mother to drink. Without the man's role, can the woman be complete? So it is more balanced to think about the fact that it takes two to make a pair. When the MC said we should clap for some of our mothers here, I saw some people clapping with one hand on their thigh. Was it loud? You don't clap both hands together. It cannot be loud.
A copy of this book with the sum of 25,000 naira.
Especially thank the writer. I commend his efforts and all those who are working very hard to preserve and propagate the Edo language, culture, and history. He is one of them, and he has used this medium to show that he is actually working in that direction. I thank him for recognizing me. I will also get back to him in due course. Thank you very much.
I stand on the existing and established protocol here. Today is one of those days. I always say that the Benin has come to light. It's a very beautiful light. You ask me why. That somebody, unless my friend, got up to pen to paper, went deep into research, and came out with a wonderful Benin, which nobody has ever celebrated. Please, we should clap for him.
And I'm representing
Nebe Obasoke, the chief executive producer of Nebo TV. She's launching this book with 50,000 naira.
I have a book called To Thank God Almighty and Our Ancestors, particularly the Heroines, whom the God Almighty and their ancestors used to create the records I have to show to the public today. Even on God have used them to perform all the mystery and miraculous work they did, I would have nothing to show for today's event. I'm so glad, I'm so happy that people grace this occasion. And I am believing God Almighty that will strengthen me to do more and more about this ancient heroine and the modern women. If you see today, our VC is a woman. The last Justice Minister for Commissioner for Justice in Edo State is a woman. Women are holding very high posts in Edo State, which our daughters don't have recognition for that one. I decided to document this work as a history book that I will appeal to the Ministry of Education to encourage me to enlist it into their school curriculum, that these children will be reading all this history in the school. They will emulate all these ancient and modern women in our kingdom. Today, most of our guests, they are looking after the international world computer civilization. Not all. The Benin's are born creative. They are born inspired. We inspire so many things that we are using in Benin Kingdom today, not because the white men. Before the white men came, we were already having our clothes. We wave our clothes, we use. We were not waiting for the white men to come before we started using our clothes. We make our cutlass. We did our survey. We did so many manual work that we see the moat in Benin Kingdom. There was no caterpillar to do it. Everything was done out of creativity and inspiration. And it works. Today we are enjoying it, we are seeing it. But our children, our daughters particularly, are not feeling it because of the Western civilization. I decided to put this record in straight way to our children should learn from our culture and tradition. I'm so glad, I'm so happy. And I appreciate everyone that came to bring the occasion.
Congratulations, sir. Please, we'd love to know your name, sir.
Oh, I'm Okweoba Alex Ogobadia, a deacon in that matter.
My name is Ugomoko Abigail. I'm a student of Imagwero SS2. The program is nice. At least it gave us knowledge of the past heroines and the present heroines, teaching us about our culture, our arts. It was nice, and the launching of the book. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Today is an epoch-making event. Literature is very critical to the understanding of the past, the recording of the present, and the preservation for future generations. So what the author today, Dr. Alex Ogobadia, has done is to attempt a very fundamental epoch-making event at putting in perspective Benin heroines who imparted. And he quite admitted that it is not so exhaustive, meaning that we should look forward to the second edition, even the third edition, and perhaps a fourth edition. And it is a clarion call on our present women, the young girls, even the unborn, to look forward to making their own impact. Because the sum total of human existence, otherwise called the life and times, it is recorded or significant by the impacts that we have made or that they made. And so this is a clarion call on all of us to see what we can do. We talk about Idiani Yesige, we talk about Ideno Boko, we talk about Imagwero, we talk about Emotan. These are women who were just ordinary women but performing extraordinary interventions that made them unique. So it is a big congratulations to him and Oba Atokwe himself.
Your name?
Aya Mekwe Edopolo is my name. I'm the president, Benin National Congress Worldwide.
Ego sa de fois o ye dagbon o sa no lati egi so ma enini hebe na eniki na akin ba gbon e mo salopa ma mu ese e me be na go dagbon o treme no pepe na iye me ni yi wan yaka but gbon salopa we egbepe na o do lati afia gba o salopa ko ero Maya nimere afangba egumero ogo koro e ma ya so ni Jesu amen. Anyone
Emno Surena ebe na do musu ebe na ola oha o iku ni musi kere ni de ade ni
àbò àwọn oyè abẹ́bọ̀tà àmì àdúgbò yàfẹ́ ẹ̀ ó ti wáyé kọ̀ bàdà méjì pé wẹ́ èmi ní àrùn wẹ̀gẹ̀ ní àná ara kan ayé kèmíà ní sòwò ẹ̀ á lóhùn wọn náà kẹ́rẹ́ náà ayé kò ní wẹ́rẹ́ ọ̀bẹ̀gẹ̀ náà níbẹ̀ ń dá pa bẹ̀dá àdé kèmíà náà ń náà yàfẹ́ jọ́ọ̀jì ẹ̀yà rọ̀ náà yà jìyà rẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ mi yàrá ẹ̀mú bọ́ pọ̀ ọ̀dà ẹ̀mú náà yẹ màá yà tó màá sọ wí màá yà á yà wẹ́ tìǹbù awẹ́ yẹn náà yẹn ní kúrò tẹ́ gbòkè yàfẹ́ máa yìnyín àyàrí orí màrí ẹ̀ máa yẹ èrè ǹdọ́ náà ebe náà ebi pàtàkì ẹ̀yìn lò.
Dadi wa tí o wẹ̀.
Sọ àbọ̀sẹ̀ ń kí ẹ̀ ẹ̀dọ́ bá yọ̀ fà ọ̀rẹ́ tó yàfẹ́.